Hello, this is Derek Fournier with WhatTheBuck.net, giving you a quick video preview to the Atlanta Falcons matchup this weekend at Raymond James Stadium. NFC South foes, the Atlanta Falcons, come into Raymond James Stadium having beaten us twice last year in games that were both within our reach but seemed to escape our grasp in what I'm considering a statement game. I'm not considering this a must-win game. I know a lot of people like to throw around must-win, but this is more of a statement game. The Buccaneers under Raheem Morris have had opportunities to cement themselves as a team that is legitimate. The 10-6 record did not cement them into legitimacy for whatever reasons, primarily because people felt as though we only beat teams that we should beat, which I found interesting. But the Atlanta Falcons came into the season as one of the media darlings. They and the New Orleans Saints considered to be the cream of the crop in the NFC South. The Buccaneers were and also ran at very best. Now, with Atlanta having the firepower that they have and the Bucs having staggered a little bit off the line, this is one of those games where Atlanta is expected to win. Now, going into the game, the players are not a mystery. We play Atlanta regularly enough. You know who Matt Ryan is. You know who Roddy White is. Julio Jones brought in as a large component to that passing attack, which is already stacked with talent, including Tony Gonzalez, who may in fact be a vampire as he's an ageless wonder. And we have not fared well, generally speaking, against tight ends. That's even without discussing Michael Turner in the running game. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, everyone's focusing on John Abraham, but Perret Jerry has quietly had a pretty good start to the season. And the linebacking core there is incredibly athletic with Weatherspoon and the rest of the crew. The secondary there, with the exception of Brent Grimes, is probably the weak point. Brent Grimes almost single-handedly was responsible for defeating the Buccaneers twice last year. Josh Freeman had better know where Brent Grimes is at all times. Now, when you look at keys to the game, the keys to the game become pretty simple. You have to take this kind of an offense and make it one-dimensional. You've got to stop Michael Turner from running. Now, the Falcons have done a good job of getting Turner involved in the passing game and screens, and he is a load to bring down if he gets the ball behind that defensive line. We've got to be wary of that. We have not been particularly good against screen games, against Detroit, nor against the Minnesota Vikings. And while that seems to work against us, we seem to be incapable of getting it to work for us. The trick to Turner is no mystery. It's the same trick to stopping LeGarrette Blount. Interrupt him before he gets to the line of scrimmage. If he gets ahead of steam, makes it through that first level, or even halfway through that first level, he is a load to bring down. The persistent concept there is fundamentals. Be in your gap, be assignment sound, make your tackles, wrap up. If you can't bring them down by yourself, wait till the rest of the guys can come there and hit them. That's the way Bucs defense has always been played. We need to get back to that same spot. We need to take advantage of Matt Ryan's mistakes. Matt Ryan is a heck of a young quarterback. Smart, big arm, very bright, is amazingly adept against the blitz, which scares me a little bit this week. But he will put the ball in the defense's hands. He did it last year against us a number of times. When you have those opportunities, you've got to convert. Whether you're a secondary player or whether you're a linebacker, when he puts the ball in your hands, which I assure you he will do, you've got to make him pay for it, right? So that's one of those things that we've just got to make sure we enforce. Now, the blitz comment I made is sort of an aside. I believe his passer rating goes up from in the mid-80s to 110 or so against the blitz. And I don't have those numbers right in front of me, but we typically, or this year, have had to blitz to get pressure. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. The left-hand side of the Atlanta offensive line looks weak with Baker. Hopefully Adrian Clayborn can have the week this week that I thought he would have last week and get back to that motor. The last key to the game seems obvious as well. We've got to show whether we're the team from the second half of the Vikings game or the team from every other half in the first two games. If we're the team in the second half, then this is a game that we should be able to win and we should be able to make a statement in. On the offensive side of the ball, you got to feed the beast. Get LeGarrette Blount the ball. 20 touches, I don't care how they are, whether they're handoffs or screen passes, get LeGarrette Blount the ball. That's not a discredit to Ernest Graham. We need LeGarrette in the game. In the passing game, Josh has got to feel comfortable and not feel the pressure that he seems to feel in the first half. Just go out there and play football. He's a hell of a talent. He's got talent all around him. I'm not jumping on the Preston Parker bandwagon, but you've got guys running out there open against Atlanta who plays predominantly a zone defense. At least they did against the Bears game when I went back and watched it. We should have gaps in those zones. You won't have Mike Williams getting as much press. Take advantage of guys like Des Briscoe and Regis Ben and get the ball spread around. We'll eventually be able to get back to Mike Williams. I look to see the offensive line tested, Donald Penn especially, but they're going to have to give Josh Freeman a little bit of time, and I think they'll do that. I think they'll open up the lines for LeGarrette Blount as well. I think they started to find an identity, and that's what this team needs to do, is find their identity, whether they're going to be a pound-in-the-rock team that then goes to play action, or whether they're going to spread out and throw the ball all over the field like they did with John Gruden. I don't like the latter selection with the skills we have here. I hope they get back to their basics, and Coach Olsen realizes that. I think LeGarrette's going to have a big game. I do think they're going to give him the ball, and I do see Adrian Clayborn hitting the stat sheet. This is, like I said, a statement game. I think the Bucs can make a statement against the Falcons, who I do think come in a little bit overrated. Had Vic not gone out in the Eagles game, I think they'd be coming into this game 0-2. And watching what Chicago did to them, it was not the Atlanta Falcons team people predicted. I look for a Bucs victory this week, a big victory actually, 34-17 in front of another mildly empty crowd. Thanks for listening to the video. Hopefully you guys will check out other videos and check us out both on whatthebuck.net and on Two Hand Touch for our broadcast on 10:10 a.m. Thanks.